You're back for another episode in a new area of depression. So, this area is all about triggers and patterns, understanding your lows. And there'll be again 8 series or 8 episodes in this series for us to delve into what are triggers and patterns, how to recognize them, and really, once we recognize them, what do we do from there? How can we start changing the things that we want to change in the end? So, this theme for this episode is awareness is not blame, it's empowerment. So, again, with awareness, it's important to be aware of whatever it is we need to change, because if we're not aware of it, we can't change it. Sometimes all we know is we're not getting the results that we want to get in life. And if we're not getting those and we're not understanding why, then it's time to kind of do like body scans, check ins, slow down, maybe pick apart conversations that you have or areas of your life that's not going well and see what you can do differently in them. So you're not randomly broken. When a depressive low hits, it can feel like it comes out of nowhere. One moment you're getting through the day, the next you're heavy, drained, or spiraling. But here's the truth. Lows often have triggers and patterns. They're not random and they're not proof that you're broken. They're signals your mind and body are responding to. In this episode, we'll explore why understanding triggers matters. Not to shame yourself, of course, but to give you tools for gentleness and prevention. So again, awareness is so important. And truly understanding our patterns and our triggers and how to change that in the end. So, where do we get started on why understanding my triggers matter? Well, triggers don't mean blame, of course. A trigger is anything that's internal or external that sparks a dip in our mood, maybe our behavior, maybe a sharp reaction. Recognizing triggers isn't about pointing fingers or saying it's my fault. It's about noticing. So, this situation or thought tends to pull me down, right? We're noticing first what's going on. An example could be criticism at work might trigger old wounds of not being good enough. That's not your fault. It's your nervous system reacting. What comes into play, or what is, I guess you could say, our fault, is how we react to the situation. We allow it to let us spiral, or if we're quick to react in a more negative way to somebody. That's our responsibility. These other things are just showing us what we need to change. So let's reframe this. Awareness doesn't equal blame, it equals understanding. So where do we go next? Well, awareness creates choice for us. And that is really important because we always have choices. So when you don't know your triggers, lows feel like they come out of the blue, leaving you powerless. Awareness lets you spot early warning signs. So I'm snapping more easily. My chest feels tight when I think about tomorrow. I always feel drained after scrolling too long. The earlier you notice, the sooner you can respond with care before the spiral deepens. That's our pause, and then the choice we get to make in the situation. Gentle reminder here, naming it is the first step to taming it. So where do we go next? Well, triggers are teachers for us. So triggers show you where you need extra gentleness, boundaries, or support. And they're like flashing signals. They're saying, this area of my life needs care. And we probably shouldn't ignore it as well. Instead of fearing your lows, you can start to approach them with curiosity. What is this feeling trying to tell me? What patterns am I noticing? Over time, this turns triggers from enemies into teachers. And here's an anchor thought for you. My lows can guide me toward healing, not just pain. So let's recap and wrap up. Reframing the low. Understanding your triggers doesn't mean you'll never feel low again, but it does mean you won't feel as lost when it happens. In the next episode, we'll look at emotional triggers, how feelings like shame, rejection, and conflict can spark lows, and how you can start noticing them in real time. Here's the comment section. Comment anything on this video anything about depression, maybe another heavier emotion you'd like to comment on, feel free to do so. And if you are having trouble on what to comment on, here's a question for you. Have you noticed any of your triggers lately? And if you have, what's one of them? And remember, you're not weak for having triggers. You're human. Everybody has them. Awareness is not judgment, it's the first step toward compassion. So, if this resonated with you today, take a breath before you go. Let what you heard settle in. You're not alone on this journey. And you never have to do it all at once, right? Micro changes equal big changes in the end. And if you're feeling it, give this video a like so more people can see it. Subscribe for new content every day, every week. Remember, tiny steps here, real talk, and honest healing. And if you've made it this far, you get to hear about the journals and children's books that I have created. So these journals go hand in hand with these videos and really are to help kind of increase our healthy boundaries and make us aware of the areas in our life that maybe aren't going so well, and we can change them. So you have an anxiety journal, self-love, self-discipline, self-discovery journal, and a beach-themed journal. And then I have two children's books as well. One is a book that talks about bravery, courage, and spark. And at the end of the book, of course, there's worksheets for the child so that they can start discovering where their own bravery comes from and on the inside, and their own courage and their own spark. And this will hopefully set them up so that they know that they've got it in them to do hard things in life. And then there's a children's workbook on the things that I go over with the children when I first see them in therapy. It is all about emotions, how to recognize our emotions, how to have new thoughts and replace our old thoughts with them, and some other things in the book as well. And once again, I would just like to thank you for taking your time out to watch this video. I hope you have a great day.